Who cares about piling? Over-designed or what? No one wants it. You've got a normal foundation, but you need more. There's such thing as a concrete transfer slab on upper floors, but people don't seem to accept that on ground level. You sometimes just get told you have to have these things, these phallic symbols that make their mark in the earth. There is a type of drill bit that you might have seen looks like an auger, but the centre of it is hollow. This is the auger that drills down into the ground, pumping in its concrete, but it's still moving out it's right there through letting lava in the heat more or maybe the exploded later it's difficult for it to be ever separated, the concrete and the likely archaeology that's been discovered and destroyed. To get the rig there in the first place, you have to have a piling mat that's always made of recycled aggregate. Disgusting stuff. Smells like sewage a lot of the time. Absolutely anything from a knocked-down house that gets ground up into fairly small pieces, ranging from bottle cap size to half a brick. You'll need a fairly reliable way of deciding where they go. A 200mm rebar pin hammered into the ground, with a yellow mushroom cap on top and an X marks the spot. Friction is how a pile works, structurally. Not very reliable or efficient. You don't want the sides of your deep excavation the drill. Then you've got reinforcement cages, usually in a spiral, which isn't very efficient, that you sink into the thixotropic concrete. Steel reinforcement to the core of the penetration of the earth. So after lorries and lorries and lorries have brought in a recycled then it's just taken away. What are they going to do? And then you have a fix where they can saying that where you're you need to have a sort of reservoir concrete wagon without wheels on site at all times, a huge long thick rubbery hose attached to a churning pump, wheeled like a trailer, but you wouldn't be able to do it with most vehicles, and a digger to scrape the molehills away. But I will say to you, as an architect, smaller buildings, whatever the ground conditions, aren't built like this if there's a lot of work around. The specialist piling rigs just aren't available, and a structural engineer won't be designing in a way of keeping their dependent trades employed and the rigs paying for themselves. But it's very difficult to argue with ground conditions being quoted at you. There are lots of skills base that you don't want to lose in a stagnant economy, but it seems architecting isn't one of them.